Hey guys, I'm back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a retrospective on The Loud House Season 1 because I've been rewatching that recently. So let's get to it. I'm going to be talking about all of the Season 1 episodes, and then after that I'm going to be talking about this whole season as a whole. Let's do this. First off is Left in the Dark, the very first Loudest episode. The animation in this episode is very weird for the first half. Like, Clyde looks especially weird, and some of the backgrounds are pretty strange, but it's the first episode, so it is understandable. This episode does a pretty good job in introducing the whole Loud family, I guess. Not the best job that any episode has done, because there's one episode that I think has done it better, but this is pretty good episode. I like, how he introduced the whole ARG thing. They all introduced the sisters, of course. And I just think this is a pretty good introduction to the show. Okay, get the message. This is the first episode that I have mixed feelings about. Laurie in this episode is a total jerk. She kicks Lincoln out of his room, which is, I guess, kind of understandable. I know why Lincoln, why she didn't want Lincoln in there. But out of the bathroom, Lincoln was using that, like, literally. Like, what if he peed all over the floor? I'm just saying, like, you kicked him out of the bathroom while he was still using it. Like, she acts so freaking careless and stuff. Like, why does she like, she deleted the message off of her phone that came from Lincoln. That was so annoying. Also, Clyde's crush on Laurie, really annoying. That, and the nosebleed thing, yeah, that's so annoying. It comes up so much in season 1. I forgot how much it came up in season 1. Because it barely comes up at all in season 5. Actually, I think it doesn't come up at all in season 5. They killed that joke off. But, like, in season 1, it's just so annoying. There was a cool gag with Luna, and when Lincoln is shouting into the phone, Luna plays her music to cover up the swearing, and Lana and Lola were pretty good in this episode. But yeah, this is kind of a mixed episode for me. Okay, heavy metal is up next. This whole, if a girl bullies you, then she likes you thing, that's old now. Just get over it. It's really, really annoying. And I mean, it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people, but it just annoys me. But this episode introduces Ronnie Ann, doesn't show her face or anything. Yeah, I mean, gets hints that Lincoln goes out and actually, like, introduces himself to Ronnie Ann, and, this is where the whole Ronikin thing started, I guess. I mean, the Ronikin thing was conceived, but there's no fan art, because her face wasn't revealed or anything. But yeah, I like Lenny in this episode, but, I mean, it was alright. I mean, the Sister Tornado thing, what was that? I mean, Making the Case, probably one of the most missed potential episodes in the whole series. Come on, Lincoln wants a trophy in this episode, okay? You might think, oh, that's pretty cool, because, like, every other sister has a personality, but Lincoln's kind of left in the dark. I mean, left in the dark, for the first episode, but no, it's not because of that, not because Lincoln wants to feel special, like, in the movie, but just because he wants a trophy. The only reason he wants a trophy is just because he wants a trophy to show up on the wall. And it's so annoying. I mean, Lincoln does embarrass his sisters, but, like, then his sisters just go way too far and shun him out of his life. What? And Lincoln, like, I guess he did make it up for his sisters, and I guess embarrass himself again in front of the whole school. But Jesus Christ, that girl that she had the crush on? That girl was traumatized with those videos that he showed. Like, Jesus bloody Christ, Lincoln got embarrassed way more than the sisters ever got embarrassed. And, like, it's just the punishment for Lincoln goes way too far in this episode, and this episode just isn't very funny at all. Driving Miss Hazy is a pretty fun episode. This is Lenny's first episode, I guess. Another episode with Laurie. But Laurie is actually much more likable in this episode, and she doesn't want to feel pointless. Okay, that's good. Okay, she's all right. But I like all the things that Lenny's involved with. Lenny's really funny this episode. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, episode 3B, No Guts, No Glory. Back to Laurie being a big ass again. Oh, man. Okay, so Laurie's very strict at the beginning of this episode. Too strict, way too strict. I didn't think she would be this strict. I just don't understand that. But then we have the other half of the episode where like the sisters just go absolutely crazy when Lincoln is left in charge. I still don't understand why Lincoln was left in charge. Why did Lana say that? Why did no one disagree with Lana? Why did all the sisters turn into absolutely mad people and just go around wrecking the house except Lincoln? Why did Lenny and Luna and Luann do that? They were the older sisters, okay? And Lynn, I guess, but like Lynn, I don't think she really cares about the house. But okay, and then they just start cleaning up whenever they realize that mom and dad is coming home. Like, why would they do this? Okay, they're not children; they're teenagers. They would understand stuff. But I am a sucker for people cleaning up when they're short on time, kind of scenes, like and like that. I guess the ending was sweet, where Laurie was going to play video games with Lincoln. It's not the worst episode in the world, but definitely not the best. We go from one episode where all the sisters act absolutely crazy to another episode where the sisters act annoying and crazy. But this time we have Lincoln in there too. The sisters all go absolutely mad trying to get into the van. I mean, it's just something small like a seat. Oh my god, guys, calm the frick down. Like, they injure each other, they break down the car, and they feel no remorse for each other. They don't learn any lesson, okay? They might have learned a lesson after the episode, but it doesn't matter. This is just a really annoying episode, and then Lincoln tries to get the sweet spot on the couch. Then afterwards, what the frick, Lincoln? Okay, this episode is just so annoying. Everyone's freaking out over a freaking seat. I mean, why does Lincoln go this crazy as well? Okay, I mean, the last episode he didn't go this crazy. Come on, guys, be consistent. The Tale of Two The Tale of Two Tables is a break from the madness that was the last two episodes. It's a bit weird that they have this two tables, the grown table and the children's table or the kids table, like all year around. But it still kind of feels relatable, though not really to me. I was there. Well, I guess I was on the children's table like once, but whatever. This is still like a fun episode, I guess. Grown-up table is so boring as well. They kind of over-exaggerated a bit. Like, they don't even have dessert. What? So yeah, it goes in typical route that Lincoln wants to go for the grown-up table, then once he's there, he wants to go back to the kids' table. But I don't know, something about this episode I like. Yeah, I don't know. The jokes. I like seeing Lincoln embarrass himself with his little older sisters, and his older sisters come back to the children's table. But there's also a line that doesn't really make sense that Luann says. She says that she hasn't seen chicken nuggets in years. Doesn't she be at children's birthday parties doing the funny business thing? But that comes later in the season, so whatever. Surely the kids eat chicken nuggets at those parties. But anyway, Project Loud House, the episode that should have been the pilot. This introduces all the sisters so well, and I think this probably would have been a really, really good episode to be the pilot. Probably the best episode to be the pilot, even more than the actual pilot, Left in the Dark. I'm not saying that Left in the Dark is a bad pilot episode or a bad episode in general. I just think that Project Loud House does it a little bit better. But even though it should have been the pilot, I still love this episode, and it's a good showcase into all of the sisters' personalities. Intense debate. What the frick? Okay, this episode is kind of annoying. I mean, okay, so the Glauds are gonna go on their family holiday or family vacation. Last time they did this kind of storyline, it didn't really end up going very well for me. But so they have to have a choice: go to Dairyland or the beach. And these five sisters want to go to the beach. Five sisters want to go on the vacation, and they all try to win over Lincoln with stuff about the beach and Dairyland and stuff, and then they try to torture Lincoln to not go for the other side, and it gets really annoying at the end of the episode. Okay, and then Lincoln ends up having them all go to the campsite, mossy ground campgrounds or whatever the name is, and he does all of the work for them. He defends them against bears and all that. He has a horrible time, and Lincoln did not deserve this. So yeah, this was a pretty pitiful episode. I don't hate this episode as much as other people, but Sound of Silence is just the worst episode that I can think of in my mind right now. You know, it's not the worst episode I can think of in my mind right now, but it's just a pitiful episode, okay? just punishing Lincoln for just wanting a peace and quiet is not very nice, and what they do with Lola's character is just absolutely insane. I wonder if she actually does any of this stuff, and if she does, she's an absolute horrible person. Just because Laura didn't say excuse me, she actually breaks her phone. What? Some of these punishments she does to the other people are just extreme, like selling all of Lenny's furniture. What? Space Invader is actually an episode that I like. Okay, Lynn is not my favorite character of the Lighthouse, but I don't hate her. But in this episode, I don't hate her. But she's all right. I like how they teach a lesson of like you can't always have your own room to yourself. You have to allow people to bunk in your room sometimes. And I just think it's a very realistic adaptation sometimes. With the big loud snoring. And Lynn is annoying, but I mean, a lot of other people are annoying in real life. Okay, guys, deal with it. And I do love the end part where they had Lucy, Lincoln, and Lynn have a big spaghetti meatball fight, and then Lynn and Lucy have to sleep in Lincoln's bed. That worked out great for Lincoln. The best part about this episode is this picture. Picture Perfect. This episode's called, but it's not a perfect episode. I don't really like this episode. This episode it annoys me because this. Okay, so pictures, you're supposed to put all your crazy stuff behind for picture and look good, right? But this episode decides, oh no, you want to be act crazy in yourself in a picture. It should be in between. Why did Lincoln go around chaining his sisters? Why did he put glasses on Lenny and give sunglasses to Lisa? Like, what was the point of all that? I mean, this episode's just kind of boring. It's just kind of Lincoln changing his sisters, and that's kind of it. And he chooses the worst picture at the end, but blah blah blah, boring. Next up is Undie Pressure. There is a lot I like about this episode. Actually, it's probably one of my favorite episodes of the entire season. Just so much about it. This episode kind of feels like a last two challenge, like a last to be yourself challenge, I guess, where like just siblings trying to not be themselves for the longest amount of time. Everyone against Lincoln. I love Luna trying to do her best British accent. Luann trying to hold back telling jokes. Lola just getting crazier and crazier. This episode is just really fun. Link or swim. This episode was kind of in the middle road for me. The sisters act kind of annoying in the first part, like when they will go and they just get kicked out of every single pool. They can just go and braid Lincoln's pool, like absolutely just take it over. But Lincoln gets tortured a lot in the episode as well, like just for no reason. But then he realizes that everything's better with family, and it's kind of a nice message. So yeah, I like this episode, I guess, kind of. Changing the baby. I like this episode. Okay, I love it. Everyone's trying to change Lily, and it's kind of cool seeing every single sibling hang out with Lily, and they do all fight against her. But then Lincoln just realizes at the end of the episode that he has a friend, Clyde, and then they hang out, and then he gets really embarrassed when everyone looks at him in a diaper. Wait a minute. Actually, wait, that's not the end of this episode. Oh, crap, I got it all. Although that scene with Clyde smelling Laurie's shampoo was very weird, to say the least. This episode was great, overnight success. It's a sleepover of Lincoln and Clyde. Lincoln has a sleepover and Clyde comes over. This episode introduces what's the thing down the bottom? This episode introduces Clyde's dad, which are gay, so that is great introduction for the show. It doesn't actually say out loud that they're gay, but like it happens. Okay, like The Loud House is one of the best shows at handling that kind of stuff. So that is awesome. There's a start in this episode. This episode explores that Clyde is very lonely without any brothers or sisters, and I like that. And he hangs out with all of them, and it's great. Yeah. I like all the antics where Lincoln brings up other friends and they all get scared away. Liam and Zach are in this episode. I mean, yeah, first appearances from them. Ties That Bind is another episode that I love. The craziness of the Loud House is really explored here. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, also I do like a joke about actually Lynn Senior actually wanted to give away all his ties. Or Narita wanted to give away his ties, and it was a big misunderstanding. But I love all the stuff in this episode about Lincoln wanting to be the only child, and each of the sisters trying to be nice, like Lola and Lana in the bathroom. That was awesome. And this is just a really funny episode, and an episode that I will definitely come back and watch soon. Hand Me Downer. This episode is really weird. This introduces Rusty, which he turns into another addition to Lincoln's friend group, along with Clyde, Liam, Stella, and Zach. But here he's just one of the bikers in this episode, which is really weird. Very weird introduction for him. But I like this episode a bit. I guess Lynn was rightfully mad at Lincoln for getting her bike lost. But it's a bit weird how everyone just treats Lincoln differently when he has a girl bike. Isn't that like a little bit sexist? But like, I don't understand that. It's realistic. I mean, like, it's a pink bike. Okay, what kind of boy rides a pink bike? Especially when you're riding a bike like that one that Lynn had. Okay, yeah, and I like how everyone has to deal with hand-me-downers. Even Lori. This episode, Sleuth or Consequences. I don't dislike this episode as much as other people because I actually kind of like the mystery in this episode. But the sisters, oh my god, they're so annoying. Especially, even Lincoln's annoying, okay? I mean, like, I don't understand why he would clog the bathroom every time he has to get out of trouble. He's the man with a plan. He doesn't just clog the toilet. This seems like more of like a season 3 or 4 Lincoln that doesn't come up with plans as much. Not season 1 Lincoln. Lincoln was like prime Lincoln in season 1. Okay, he was like the main character of, the man with the plan. Like, he was like, that was the most utilized in season 1. Why would he be flushing stuff down the toilet like this? Okay, Lincoln's costume that the sisters laugh at aren't even that bad. Okay, and like Lincoln's costume, like it's not like a really bad costume or anything. It's actually a pretty good costume. Why did he laugh at this stuff? Okay, and why every time Lincoln clogs the toilet, Lola just has to barge up at the door and just said, "I'm feeling dead." What a little brat. Okay, what a little freaking brat. But I do like the mystery between and like how Lucy is actually the one who clogs the toilet. So that kind of makes up for a bit of the other stuff that's in this episode. But still, the sisters really annoying. Next up is Butterfly Effect. This episode was actually really fun to watch. It's just a fun episode of everyone messing up. But what I don't get is Lynn kicks the soccer ball at Lola, which ends up getting her pageant career over or ruined. But then they're like hanging out at the end of the episode. Like, they're just driving. Like, Lynn is in Lola's car. Lola should absolutely hate Lynn, right? Didn't she see the ball coming? Didn't she? If it is a soccer ball that hit her, doesn't she does know that. And who plays sport? Lynn. So why isn't Lola beating Lynn up right now? It doesn't really matter. But this is just a fun episode to watch. Good job, Loudhouse. You just punished Lincoln on literally just doing his part. The greenhouse is one of the worst episodes of the show. Punishes Lincoln for doing absolutely nothing. Why did he have to be punished like this? He was doing his part. He was trying so hard to get into the green. This is one of the worst environmental episodes of the whole show. The only reason he lost because these two stupid boys just came over and dumped themselves in his basement because they knew that Lincoln wasn't going to fulfill the greenhouse challenge, wherever they were doing at school. This is just annoying. Along Came a Sister is actually, I think, the first latest episode that I watched, which is pretty cool, but it's a bit weird, especially when Lincoln was looking under the door of the bathroom and then Laurie opened it. Yeah, weird. But it's fun seeing Lenny be afraid of spiders, because that has been a trait of hers in the past, and it makes sense for her character, and she does feel bad at the end about Lincoln losing the spider because he's going to be an outcast at school and all that. And that's been like the 3rd episode where they explain he's going to be like an outcast. But whatever. She doesn't overcome her fear of spiders though. Chore and Peace is just a classic Clouded episode of all kids not doing their chores, so the house fills up and just this episode will be good, but definitely really good. But like, why did they all have to clean up just because of Lily? I mean, I wish there was a better solution. Whatever, this is a good episode anyway. It is one of the episodes I turn to when I'm gonna say like a regular Loudest episode. For some reason, I just think of this one all the time. For Bros About to Rock was one of the best episodes of the show, and it definitely is the start of Luna being a really, really good character, because most of Luna's episodes are good. Actually, I think all of Luna's episodes are good, and this is just the beginning of her arc. This is her backstory and how she actually got into rock and roll and all that, and I guess the introduction of the Nick Swagger character. This is just an episode that you will never forget. it just makes so much sense why Luna wants to make everyone else's first concert so special, because hers changed her life. It's a loud, 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 loud house. The next episode, on the other hand, is one of the worst episodes of the whole show. It's just the siblings fighting over money. Like, come on. Lincoln found this penny under the sofa, and then everyone just tries to fight over. Like, Lincoln found it. He should obviously keep it. Oh my god. Like, this episode is just so annoying. And I guess they do manage to work together at the very end, which is kind of good. But it's so annoying because, like, the literally previous episode we learned how good of a person Luna is, and then this episode she just absolutely throws Lincoln out of her bedroom with her big electric guitar. It's just so annoying. Totes Tears is one of the first episodes that only has like 2 sisters in it, so it kind of feels like a later episode in the series. But I like the antics of Lincoln trying to get Lana to be like Lola. And also Lola probably should have like broken some teeth or jaw or something because she fell right in her face. Whatever. I like this episode. It's pretty fun to see Lana on stage trying to be Lola. 2 boys and a baby. Well, it's all right. Clyde serves no purpose. But yeah, I mean, it's there. We get an introduction of Aunt Ruth and her big disgusting foot. Ugh. Cover Girls is a very enjoyable episode. I love how all the sisters have their back on Lincoln. And how Lincoln, or they have their back on Lincoln. Whatever that sentence is, and how I love all the sisters dressing up as each other. It's really fun, and it doesn't go on for too long. You get the introduction of Papa, but I kind of like at the end how he said he has to put on his reading glasses for next time, because that makes total sense. And yeah, it's awesome, and I love the ending where they all have to wear each other's outfits to whatever they're doing in the day. Save the date. What a horrible episode. Why was Laurie so angry at Lincoln? Okay, calm down. You knew that Lincoln didn't know that Ronnie Ann was Bobby's sister. But why would Bobby break up with Laurie just because Laurie's sister or Laurie's brother attacked his sister? It's getting confusing in my head. I don't know why Bobby had to break up with her. I don't know why this whole episode had to happen. Laurie got way too angry and threw stuff at Lincoln. She cared about her boyfriend more than her brother. What the frick? Why did Lincoln say those bad things about Ronnie Ann in the restaurant? Okay, why would you do that again? Why did Ronnie Ann and Lincoln kiss? Why did that happen? I forgot about the kiss, but like, why did they kiss in this episode? Out on a Limo is what I consider to be Louder House Season 1's weirdest episode. Okay, Lincoln wins a limo, okay, and the Berkman Burger contest. But then he gets approached by this old guy, Tetherby, who invites him to join the club. Why does Lincoln join this club with this old guy? He's old. How is this allowed? Like, seriously? Like, stranger danger. Like, this old guy just shows up and just invites him to his, like, old club. Like, yeah, this one's a bit weird in my opinion. But yeah, it's an enjoyable episode, I guess. Attention deficit, whatever. This one brings back Clyde's dads, which were awesome for the sleepover episode, but there are a lot more included in this episode. They're a lot better to the plot. Basically, Lincoln wants attention, so he goes over to Clyde's dad's house, and then everyone else comes over to Clyde's dad's house, and then he goes back to his own house and gets full attention from his own parents. I like this episode, especially when the dads just go crazy after having all of the loud kids over at their house. Like, they only have one kid; they're not able to handle all of those other ones. House Music is Luna's second episode and deals with her and her fear of not being able to play a good enough song for Nick Swagger, and then she actually meets Nick Swagger in a restaurant. Wow, that's pretty weird. But she gets really angry, and we actually have the dad here, which I really wish his face was in it, but whatever. It's fine. And we learned that he was part of a band and everything, and we still don't get his face. We get his bandmates' faces on everything. This episode is really great. It really progresses Luna's character, and like everyone in the final act, all the family play in the band. It's really cool. I still don't understand how all the siblings are able to have a big fight in Dad's office, but the novel idea is a very fun episode, and this time the mother should have her face revealed in this episode, but whatever, it's just the mother and the father they never have their face revealed until season 2. I like all the antics of Lincoln trying to get this book back, and just him talking to the fish was pretty funny. And yeah, I like how we get introduced to Rita's love of writing. April Fool's Rules, the first of many April Fool's allowed episodes. I don't hate this episode. I like how Lincoln tries to set off all the pranks to save Ronnie Ann, and how Ronnie Ann pies Luann in the face instead of Lincoln, how Luann actually invited Ronnie Ann over. I thought that was a cool twist. And yeah, but the pranks are very mean-spirited, but I guess it's all right. And some of the good features do overshadow the bad ones, in my opinion. But not really. It still kind of evens out to be average. Serial offender, really? Okay, why are the sisters all in this supermarket making a loud ruckus? They all end up ruining the chance for Lincoln to get a cereal. I know they kind of redeem themselves at the end, but like, why do they have to take away the cereal? Okay, Lincoln earned that cereal so much, and I feel so bad for him this episode. He tried to do his hardest to get the cereal. He's the most mature out of all the sisters. Even Lori, who's like 6 years older than him, really. Oh, this is so stupid. Lincoln Loud Girl Guru is just Lincoln giving girl advice for 10 minutes, and it's not very good at girl advice, and then blah blah blah. Things go wrong. He gets pied in the face at the end. I don't know why Lincoln thought all of this would work, but it's just kind of a boring episode. I don't really like it. Come Sail Away is an episode where the loud kids do a yard sale, but again, the problem is always just solved by Lily crying, and then they have to fix everything, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. Okay, I get it. The episode's kind of funny, and yeah, it's fine. I don't know why all the kids are always competing with each other in this episode. It doesn't usually happen, does it? But roughing it. An episode with Clyde's dads, which doesn't utilize them at all. I really don't understand why they went and let Lincoln and Clyde into the woods. Like, why didn't they follow them? But yeah. Okay, on this episode, they just survived in the wilderness, I guess, and that's kind of it. But they went to the extreme danger. I can't believe they're actually still alive after this episode. Wow. The Waiting Game, the episode that introduced Chandler. Oh boy. Chandler appears a lot more in season 5, but he's always been annoying. At least he's not like a full-on bully here, but like Chandler's just popular because like he's just rich. I don't know why Lincoln and Clyde want to go to a sewage plant anyway. But like the ending with Lori and Lincoln, that was really cute, and how Lincoln pays the price for getting all those free snacks. So other than Chandler, I like this episode. The Loudest Yard. What do you mean loudest yard? I thought they were playing on a pitch. Whatever. So this is the episode where Lincoln tried to play sports, even though Lincoln's 11, he probably should be playing sports by now. But he plays soccer, but then he doesn't want to. So then he gets Lynn to play soccer, but then he's too good, and everyone loves her and stuff. And then at the big game, I'm not really explaining these episodes very well. So Lynn plays instead of Lincoln, so Lincoln just waits at the tree all practice. So then when they play in a big game and everyone's cheering for Lincoln, and when Lynn's playing, then she gets injured, and then everything's revealed, and everyone gets in there. Then Lincoln plays for the last bit of the match, and he scores on the other end of the goal. Actually, I like that. They're very relatable. I used to do that all the time in FIFA. Pretty embarrassing, but whatever, it's relatable to me. Also, this is one of the loudest season 1 episodes that tries to hide the parents' faces so much. They're just trying desperately to hide the faces. Raw deal, an episode where Lincoln thinks he's gonna die for the whole episode. The part where Lincoln's afraid he's gonna die isn't really the best, but everything else is alright. I like the part where they're at the gas station, and everyone's fortunes come true, but no one cares about Lincoln though. Like even Lisa, like no one cares that Lincoln might die. Like that is very mean, but yeah. No one cares. Even Lisa. No, even Lisa doesn't care. I don't know why. Like, whatever. And then they thinks he has a good day just because they see the sort of geyser go off. Really, bro. The Dance Dance Revolution is one of the two Loud House Valentine's Day dance episodes, and I really don't know if I like this one better or the other one, but I really like this episode. This is one of the episodes with Ronnie Ann in it. The second episode with her face in it, at least that's what I think, yeah. And it is pretty awesome episode. Actually, no, our third episode we're facing it because of April Fool's rules. I like how Lincoln trying to juggle his 4 dates of his sister's friends, because those are her dates, and he tries so hard to ignore Ronnie Ann, and then it's actually really smart. He wins the raffle, so then Mrs. Johnson has to call out his name. I think that was actually a really smart way. Because he enters the raffle earlier. Also, kind of includes Lincoln's friends, which don't really get any attention until season 2, but this episode has them in it. Rusty, Zach, and Liam. I actually kind of struggle to name their names, even though they're like pretty prominent characters in the show from season 2 onwards. But whatever, they date Lincoln's other dates at the end of the episode because it was pretty hard to juggle all those 4 dates. Yeah. If you're to remember, okay, this one was where Bobby hangs out with Lincoln and then Laurie acts lonely. The thing I don't feel a bit weird about this episode is that Laurie hangs out with Clyde a lot, and like Bobby really doesn't have that much of a reaction. Like Bobby doesn't really know what's going on in this episode. He kind of just like is kind of like confused for a lot of it, and like but Lincoln does know what's going on. It's kind of weird. I don't know why Bobby didn't go more into the Laurie hanging out with Clyde stuff. It's kind of funny having Lincoln and Bobby come up with weird bro words for their friendship, and it's kind of cool seeing Lincoln and Bobby hang out because it's kind of shows that Bobby's the brother that Lincoln never had, and it's kind of cool. But then at the end, it's like Lincoln's like, oh yeah, I had Clyde all along. What is this outro? Like, what the freak? Next up is One of the Boys. This is probably one of the most talked about Loud House episodes of the entire show, not just season 1. Like, there's probably like at least like 10 reviews reviewing this singular episode online, which is a lot considering this is a very big show and a lot of episodes that are worse than this episode, definitely. But this episode isn't that bad. I kind of like seeing all the sisters as boys, but they really don't have any different personalities. They're just kind of the same, to be honest. And I'm kind of grateful that they're all girls, but even when the sisters are girls, they're pretty like annoying. They go like, "Oh my god, boy, oh, I want to kiss your boo boo better," or something like that. All the boys are just always so gross and pick their noses, and it's just so annoying. This episode just stereotypes boys and girls so much. I mean, come on, I'm not this rough with people. Like, okay, maybe some boys are, but whatever. Even like the Lonnie, I think, does the boy Lenny. I can't even remember some of their names. I don't even know if they are all named, but whatever. I guess it's kind of cool. Also, Lincoln's scream this episode, it's really annoying. Like, Lincoln has a new voice actor in the middle of season 1. I think he got a new voice actor somewhere around then. And, like, he's alright, but, like, at the beginning at this point, he's just screaming so much in this episode. And he gets so annoying. And from this episode on, I was just kind of annoyed by his voice actor. Next up is Tanner's Tale. From this point onward, Lola's a really, really good character in my opinion because she wasn't really that great in early season 1, especially in Sound of Silence. We actually get some of her sympathetic side. She actually wants to hang out with her siblings a lot, and she's just thought by making them her slaves that it would be better. But then she joins the secret club, and it's awesome. I like how all the siblings have a secret club, like because like they do loads of naughty things and. Well, yeah, and they could sneak into a room that smart little tricks Lola plays on him. Funny Business is an episode I would expect from season 2 onward. It's kind of weird. This is the end of season 1, though, so I guess I can excuse it. But this is kind of the episode you find in season 2 onward. But it's not a bad episode. It's definitely a very good one. I like seeing all the antics with Luann and all of her past assistants, and then it becomes a new one. He steals the show. No side is I guess bad for say that they're both equally wrong. They both learn lessons, of course. And yeah, this is just a fun episode. I like to see Luann having her own like little funny business thing that comes back in some other future episodes as well. Snowboard is alright, probably the most meh episode of the entire season, so yeah, good job, Snowboard. I mean, I like the snow setting, but we get that in like 3 other episodes. This is probably my least favorite episode with the name Snow in it, because of the 2 episodes in season 2 I actually really like with snow in it, with snow in it, and also the Christmas episode that has snow in it. Not the name, but the episode. Yeah, I like that episode too, but this is just gonna alright. The Price of Admission is next, where Lincoln goes to see a horror movie without his parents' permission, and he gets really scared afterwards. I really like. I actually can relate to this episode, not because of the horror movie thing, but because of Lincoln staying up all night trying not being able to sleep. Like, I can really relate to that. I've had probably countless nights where I just couldn't sleep at all. I'm not insomniac. I'm not an insomniac or anything, because I can sleep, guys. That is something that I do. But some nights I just can't get to sleep. Like, I stay up, I can't sleep. I can spend 3 hours sleeping, and then I just give up because it's just can't. And then it's been 2 or 3 in the morning. I finally get to sleep, and I'm really tired the next day, and I can't really do anything. And yeah, it's really annoying. But yeah, this episode's good. If there's one episode of The Loud House I would recommend to anyone, it's this episode. One Flew Over the Loud House is just such a chaotic episode. I just saw such a fun episode to watch. And the flu taking over the Loud House scene is pretty fun. And Lenny was really cool. Well, I love Lenny in this episode, how she wanted to help everyone instead of just killing them. Well, not killing them, but spraying chicken noodle soup at them. And the ending was really satisfying as well, although none of them survived, but yeah, whatever. I like all of them slowly getting infected by the flu as they all went downstairs. It was awesome. Okay, we're almost at the end of the season. Study Muffin is an episode. I really don't understand how all the sisters and the father, what was it with him? I don't understand. I don't even know the dad. But why do they all have a crush on this guy? Why does Lincoln fail his test just because he has a really, really big crush on this teacher? Why does everyone has a crush on this teacher? I don't get it. I don't understand. Why does everyone have a big crush on him? Lordy has a boyfriend. What? This shouldn't be acceptable. This is. I mean, I don't hate this episode, but it has problems. Oh, we're finally there. Season 1, episode 26B, Homespun. Oh my god, it has been a chore to review all these episodes, guys. Have been filming this video for around 2 weeks now, because I couldn't do it all at once, so I had to take breaks in between filming these. So, yeah, we're finally there. Okay, this episode, Homespun, is probably the perfect season 1 finale. They're stuck in the basement in a tornado, and they have to, and they want the house to go away or blow away so they can get a new house, but then they realize that that's not possible, and they probably have to live in the streets if they get the house blown away. Just kidding. No. They realize that they have loads of good memories in the house, and they want to keep it. And it's really fun seeing these memories and all the fun scenes, like how they can all hear each other through those thin walls. I mean, our walls are really fat because we're really big, but this episode's just fun. There we go. All the episodes of season 1 reviewed. Is it the end of the video, guys? No. There is still a few more things I want to do. I want to point out some stuff for the season that I noticed and kind of have an actual review of the season as a whole. First of all, this season feels the most Loud House of all the seasons. I mean, it's based mostly on, Link and his 10 sisters figuring out how to do things let's say Left in the Dark, or in Project Loud House, or any of the first half of season 1 is always to do with Lincoln and his sisters, or all the sisters are in it, just for an example. But we're gonna go to season 5, and has strayed much more to having more side characters in them, and having just sisters paired up with each other, or sisters and their friends, or Lincoln and his friend group. But this is mostly based on the actual theme of the show that has built up from the beginning, just Lincoln and his 10 sisters. So yeah, but the thing that really stands out in this season is the parents, because their faces are covered for some reason. I don't know why that happens, but their faces do get revealed in early season 2, and actually it's really smart, because I think they used the assets of Lynn Loud Senior's face, because his eyes get revealed at one point in the show, and I think he has a nose. He has a pointy nose in season 1 as well. You can see it, the end of it, and yeah, they get revealed in the first episode of season 2. But in this episode, in season 1 they try so hard to hide the faces. It's just kind of funny almost because they're just trying desperately to hide the faces sometimes. Even the sports episode, Lindsay has like a big mask on and his eyes are poking out, and then his tail of his outfit is covering little Rita's face. So yeah, anyway guys, that is the Lighthouse Season 1 retrospective video. That took a long time to make, as I just said. This is probably going to be really long, but I'm really proud of this video. If you did enjoy this video though guys, please do smash that like button and subscribe to my channel, because I don't know, I think